In this documentary, we are about to explore the methods of ADD coach Kevin Roberts. We will investigate Kevin's alternative way of helping students with ADD and other learning disabilities. Sometimes students need more help with motivation than with homework. Kevin mainly works with students at his house in groups, but also does some individual work at the student's home or at his own home.
An ADD coach is a person who helps an ADD or someone who has a diagnosis of attention deficit disorder develop strategies and skills to allow him or her to succeed. I work with people primarily on school, and of course, a lot of other issues and implications arise out of that, but primarily I help people succeed in school.
Nick Gersh is currently a senior at Cranbrook High School. In the fall, he plans to attend Kalamazoo College and go into engineering. Nick got to know Kevin through his family and from when Kevin taught at the Roper School.
Kevin's helped me in a lot of different ways. He's helped me a lot with academics. He's helped me with my math. That's the reason why I first came to see him. He's helped me with my English grades. My paper writing has been great now. He's really taught me a lot. And not just that, he's been there more. I mean, he's been as a friend. And whenever I'd have a problem, I'd come over, and for the first half hour or so, I would talk about problems that I would have, and he'd try to help me with those, and then he'd help me with my academics. And I've really learned a lot over the past 6.5 years from him. At first, I came to see him, like I said, just for math, and then he started to help me with other things. Like, as he got to know me, he actually helped me with my writing skills even more and more. And as he learned how I learned from my teachers, he was able to help me even more so. I like to say that, I don't like to say this, but back in middle school, my study habits were really were not very good. I'd go home, I'd play video games, and pretty much I'd just go to bed after that. I'd watch television, I'd just go to bed. And now, in high school, I'd say for the past couple of years, my study skills have been excellent, I think. I go home, I get all my homework done, then I would watch television, play video games, then I would go to bed. And now, when I have more important stuff, getting into college, it would be pretty much I would get home, I would study as hard as I can, get everything done, I'd go to bed as early as possible, get up early the next day, study even more. This is the best time to study. And then I would go to school. And I enjoyed that.
Electra Petrucci is a 22-year-old graduate of the University of Michigan. She majored in art history and world literature. Electra met Kevin at Monty's, a local diner, about 6 years ago. Kevin helped her decide which school to go to and to make the choice to travel. She has helped Kevin with students at his house.
It's a really interesting experience. He's very intense, and stuff comes to him so quickly that I think the most difficult part about working with him was that he would just get idea upon idea upon idea, and I was like, wait, I'm a little bit behind you. But and just trying to he treats every individual like they're really an individual and knows what they need as a student and as a person, just on a social level. And so I had to, as his employee, really figure out how he wanted me to interact with those individuals as well. Everything is really fast because he's got so many kids at one time, and it's unbelievable. Like, when I first started working there, I had no idea that he could have 20 kids at his house at one time. And when he first told me, I think it was like the first Sunday that I was working for him, I was like, no way, there's not going to be 20 kids here. And then they all just started showing up. And I couldn't believe that he could just kind of like help 20 kids finish their homework in one afternoon. It wasn't difficult, it was just really overwhelming the first couple weeks, but it was great.
How did I get started? Well, I taught at Roper School for about 4 years, and at the end of 4 years I began to feel that maybe a school system working within it wasn't necessarily for me, and so I decided to leave, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. The summer after I left Roper, people started calling me, and they would say things like, you know, I heard that you helped so-and-so's daughter turn things around in school. Could you do the same thing for my daughter or my son? And so I didn't really know what I was doing, and at first I called myself a tutor, but then I had a conversation with a therapist who allowed me to understand that what I was doing was really coaching. And I started working with people one-on-one, and you know, I would help them with, certainly I would do some things that a tutor would do, but I would also call them and check in with them and help them identify behaviors and mindsets that maybe weren't conducive to success. And eventually I also started doing A.D.D study groups, and so now more often than not I work with kids in a group setting for multiple hours at a time.